So here I'm using the Duxtop. Ignore all the mess in the background, sorry. Terrible exposure. As you can see, it's kind of just bouncing up and down between about 700 watts and nothing. And this is about as close I could get to after a few minutes of experimentation, keeping it at just sort of a simmer. You can see how it's either kind of off or it's gonna somewhat violently boil it just for a split second, so a little more than you might want if you had some sort of fancy dish going on. Versus, so I'll turn that off. I'm gonna move over to with one hand across our kitchen renovation over to this other one. Oops. Come on. So with the Nuwave, let's see. Oops, same pot of water. Try to line this up. All right, so I think I can put it to 175 and hit start. Oops, pointing at that. And what I'm getting in that case is this really nice, just constant about 600. In this case, I do have it set to use the full 1800 watts right now. Neither of these actually went to 1800. They went to about 1650, both the Duxtop and the Nuwave here. But let's just get this thing boiling first. Oops, wrong button. Okay. Give it a temp real quick. Also, this one makes a lot less noise, to my ears at least. Okay, so boiling there, and then I'll just put it out 175 and let it kind of sit there. So right about there is where I found it's kind of the sweet spot for this one for a simmer. So you can see it just holds it perfectly. It's not quite boiling. It's able to keep it right there. And if I go just a little bit down, that's where it starts to turn on and off, but it's a much faster on-off, less waiting and then hitting it really hard. So it's just kind of going. Its minimum seems to be about 500 watts. Sometimes you see the meter go to something else, but I think it's just ramping up. So 170 I'd say is the, well, honestly not 170 because it's turning on and off. If you want a consistent amount, and I'm actually, I should mention, in Denver, Colorado, so things change out here. Water boils a lot more quickly. But for me it's perfect. I can set this right to 175 and that's just happily, smoothly simmering away. Might be a little bit higher than I want, but it's pretty good. So I'll be keeping the Nuwave. This is the Pro Chef model. I'm actually going to be routing out a hole in this countertop to put it in. The Nuwave doesn't advertise itself as built-in, but I'm going to make it built-in. That's what we want. We don't want the cords dangling out. But we really wish they had a 240 volt version, a built-in 240 volt. Same thing for Duxtop. They're built in, but they're not 240 volt. We went through a lot of trouble around 240 volt lines for a larger one we were going to get, but it just also was pretty terrible. So I'm really happy to see this Nuwave, just like the smaller circular ones that we take camping. This little square one works great. It's one of the best control that we've seen out of all the brands so far. Okay, hope that helped some folks. Again, sorry for the mess here. We're between a lot of projects. So yeah, hope it helps. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, as you can see, it's boiling. Temperature is set at 155 degrees. 155 degrees is not a boil. Checked it, it was 150, then I checked again, it was 184. Now it's a rolling boil. Now we'll check the temperature. I know it's going to be hot enough to boil because it's reached boiling stage. PIC, this unit, Nuwave unit, does not have exact temperature control. It's reached boiling point, which is about 198 degrees or so at this elevation with that water, which is about what it was. 198, 199. So this thing's going back. It's not doing what I bought it to do, which was give me control over temperature. Might as well send it back today. I'm just going to buy a hot plate with a thermostatically controlled hot plate and live with that. They're cheaper and they have a thermostat on that controls the heat, and I don't need an induction hot plate at all anyway. I just wanted something to control temperature. I thought this would. It gave me every indication that it would. It's just misleading advertising that it doesn't. So, okay, there you have it. That's why it's coming back to you. Bye bye.